Women will not be saved through childbearing. They will be safe in childbearing. That coming up. So stupid. In order to understand this very strange thing that seems to divert from everything Paul says about salvation and women and everything, we have to understand that Paul is writing to his friend Timothy, who is pastoring the church in Ephesus that he and Timothy planted together. When Paul leaves, he leaves Timothy in charge, and he's trying to instruct young Timothy how to shepherd this congregation in Ephesus, which is a big challenge. Now, Ephesus is something like saying New York City or London or Tokyo or Hong Kong. Ephesus was the largest city in Asia Minor, one of the wealthiest cities, and Ephesus was like the Vatican for Artemis worship. In Ephesus, the temple to Artemis was enormous and beautiful and expensive. The temple of Artemis was 115 meters long, so that's longer than a football field, and 55 meters wide. And it was made with 127 marble columns. It was one of the 7 wonders of the world, and it's something that would blow people's minds every time they saw it. The Temple of Artemis also functioned as a major bank for the region, and it was said, like, if you needed to store your money, put it in the temple in Ephesus. It'd be like putting it in a Swiss box, and it's gonna be safe and it's gonna be good. So when you mess with Artemis, you're also messing with money. Now, Artemis, let's talk about, one of my favorite things about talking about the Bible is talking about all the pagan gods that are a part of the Bible, that are sort of the enemies of God. And let's talk about Ephesian Artemis. Ephesian Artemis. Can I be crass for a minute? I still remember the first naked woman I ever saw. I was 11 years old, and I was in the back of a 80-something Bronco with my best friend Abe, and we were with his parents at a drive-in movie theater, and we were watching, some kids movie. And right next door, there was another drive-in movie theater with this movie Total Recall. And I remember I kept looking over thinking that movie looked a lot cooler than the movie we saw. And then there was the scene where this alien woman shows her chest and she has 3 boobs. And for the longest time, I was confused. Looking back, as I'm saying this out loud, it was probably totally fake. It was totally fake. What am I talking about? But I thought, maybe the middle one's fake and the other 2 are real. Oh my gosh, I am digging a horrible hole here. Anyway, Artemis is like this alien triple-breasted woman from Total Recall, only she's got 50 or 60. Artemis is this very ugly virgin goddess who's also the goddess of fertility and childbearing. The cult of Artemis, which kept the temple and all of the religious rites for Artemis, was done by mostly women. And many of these women were leaving the temple of Artemis and joining the church in Ephesus. Aside from this, many women who lived in Ephesus looked to Artemis to give them a safe pregnancy, to give them a speedy delivery, and to help them ease the pain. These were important things. Remember that in the first century, in fact, through most of history, giving birth was a very dangerous affair. It was dangerous for the child. It was dangerous for the woman. I mean, there's so many ways that a woman could die or go through a really difficult time. And the idea was the goddess Artemis was going to be there to protect them. So when women start leaving the cult of Artemis and other women leave this pagan worship to worship Jesus, people tell them, well, if you do that, Artemis will curse you and you will die when you give birth to a baby. Or they would say, your baby will die, or you will die. In other words, when Paul is writing to Timothy about this issue, he's effectively saying, tell those women that they will be safe in childbearing, okay? Not that they're going to be saved, go to heaven when they die. But Paul is saying, for women will be saved as they're giving birth, or women will be safe as they're giving birth. They're not going to die in childbearing. They're going to be just fine. Jesus is going to protect them. So that's it. Women will be safe through childbearing. Jesus Christ protects us from any curse, the things that people say they're going to harm us. It's actually a very encouraging verse because it reminds us that all of the superstition and all the weird stuff, that people might say, Christ just wipes all of that out, and he will protect you. You know, look for him and things will be okay. If this was helpful to you, please comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. If you have any questions, please like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. Thank you guys. Take care.